Fits with a 34.53 and Storster with a 36.47, but I do feel that, as I said, these are both veterans of the game, and I expect a good matchup. I know not everyone necessarily runs this category, but they may have the strategies down because there's a lot of overlap between different categories, so... And really, there are a lot of ways that you can mess up and lose time, so I expect that anything could happen in this race. And we've just gotten through Yoshi's Island 2, the most, well, just an easy start. Let's see if they get box jump. Storster gets it first try, Fitz misses it, but goes for the quick backup. Yeah, it seems like Fitz is having a little bit of trouble in Yoshi's Island 3. Had to do a turn back as well. I'm just going to chalk that up to nerves at the start. Hopefully that'll go away as he continues racing. Starts are going into Yoshi's Island 4. Not expecting any problems here. They do kind of get close to those spiky balls, but they should be okay. And here we are going into Iggy. It's the tight jump under these Koopas, which is the reason why we haven't gotten any of the midway points or any mushrooms thus far. We are now going to get the midway and get the mushroom in this auto-scroller. Storster is. That's interesting. I guess Fitz is going to go small strats for the Iggy fight, which is also valid if you're more comfortable with that. I probably would go small strats myself. Storcer with a 240. And Fitz with a 239, so no real difference here. Actually not too familiar with how being small versus having fire is going to affect the run coming up. I'm guessing Fitz is gonna pick it up somewhere along the way to deal with Morton. That's true. DP3 is gonna be easier small. Most of the levels without flight are going to be pretty challenging. Just from here on. Gonna get Yoshi and use him to get a boost up to the secret exit. Otherwise you would have to do a shell jump, and that's hard. Coins don't really matter. Especially at this level, they're probably not going to game over. So Lives aren't much of a factor. One interesting thing in Mario World is that when you're swimming holding an item, you swim faster for some reason. So they're going to try to carry an item the whole way through this stage. And this is the ghost house. You're supposed to go through like 3 doors and get a vine, and that's slow, so they're just going to jump off of this ghost to get to the secret exit door. Looks like Storster kind of missed the ghost and wasn't able to get P-speed. I think it went smoother for Fitz, so he was able to make up some time there. And now we have Donut Plains 3, which is a difficult stage. This is somewhere where we may see things start to go wrong. It's like Fitz is opting for Vine strats, which is safer. And both of them have gotten through the hard part of the stage, that's good. I say the hard part as if they're not, like, bouncing off of Koopas everywhere and running on moving platforms over a giant pit. And Donut Plains 4 is a little bit easier. They're gonna... but still difficult. They're gonna pick up Yoshi for a double jump later, and Fire Flower for Morton. They're actually going to do a jump underneath the Hammer Bro there, which is actually required to allow Yoshi to clear that platform. I don't fully understand how that works, but that's Mario World physics, I guess. This room 2 on Storster's side may look... oh. I think Fitz actually did the fast strat in room 2 and Storster did not, so that may be another second or so made up. Can actually see that it's very close in this sort of auto-scroller. And Fitz taking the lead with a nice spring jump. Well, technically not a spring jump, but nice spring bounce. Actually, Storster lost fire, so having to jump 3 times on the boss is gonna compound the time loss. If you have fire with certain bosses, you can actually shoot 2 fireballs at the boss and then jump once. And that's faster because the way it's set up, it's 3 jumps or 8 fireball hits, but it only checks the last kind of hit that you did and counts the hits that you've previously done. Fitz getting the secret exit and keeping Yoshi. Looks like Storster is going to do the same thing. Swag one up from Fitz. Seems like Sorcerer's having a little bit of trouble in this stage, compounding Fitz's lead. And here's the one where you bounce off of all of the dolphins. It's kind of surprising how far you can get in that stage before you have to start sort of swimming. Yes, this is a race. And right now we're heading into a water stage, and then an auto-scroller. So we're not likely to see anything really change between the runners, except in the Reznor fight at the end of the fortress. Reznor can sometimes be a pain. It's a random fight, and the spinning platforms have a tendency to sort of just move Mario in very strange ways. The hitboxes on the fireballs are also a little weird, so you might see them just seem to go through the fireballs. It's fine, that's how this game works. Nice, fast Reznor kill from Fitz. And that was unexpected. Storster losing a flower in the swimming part, but also doing okay with Reznor. I don't think that losing that fire flower is going to matter. You want to have two flowers going into... I'm just thinking way ahead now, castle number 5, and they're coming up on castle 4 at the moment. But I think there's plenty of opportunity to get another flower before then. And while they're in this auto-scroller, it may be a good time to remind you to follow the runners if you're enjoying watching this. That's true. There is always the possibility that someone will take a hit, and if Storster takes a hit, before the end of Castle 4, then it will matter, because he's going to want fire to fight the boss. But I like to assume that unless it's one of the parts that are known to cause problems, that they're all just going to do fine. And Fit's actually going into an interesting stage again. We are actually going to fly over part of this, in spite of the fact that it is no cape. Sometimes this game is still Super Mario World, and you just don't have to play some of the stage. I am not actually familiar with the 2-frame time save that I've been told Fit's got. Don't walk over the 5... I'm gonna have to move on from that, I think. Looks like both of our runners are having good Castle 4. Sorcerer choosing to scroll in room 2, I guess it's a safety strat. Should take this opportunity to see exactly how far apart they are. So that was a 1744 fade out for Fitz. $18.10 for Sorcerer, so around 25 seconds. Fitz just grabbed a fire flower for entirely swag as far as I can tell, or I guess just consistently doing the same thing. Ooh, and... oh. Sorcerer lost Yoshi for a second, but I guess there's another one right there I didn't realize. And... now we're even up at 2 as far as power-ups go. Fitz is going to attempt a Yoshi clip. There is a 25% chance that even if you do everything right, as far as I can tell, Fitz did everything right, you still get kicked out of the platform. So... and it does... speaking from experience, if you miss it the first time, it really can compound. And Sorcerer also missing the first try clip. It's finally getting in there. I think Sorcerer came out ahead in that exchange. Made up some time. that was about a 2006 goal tape for Fitz. 2018, so about a 12-second difference now. Thank you, RNG, for giving us a closer race. Very nice wall jump from Fitz there. Storster, I think, also went for the wall jump and didn't get it. Never mind. Got a little confused for a second. So... this is one of those stages where we have this slow block snake, and we really don't want to wait for the block snake if we don't have to, so we're going to see the runners try to do a damage boost as soon as they have spikes to run on instead of lava. And ideally, they will do the damage boost while keeping the reserve power up, so that they can use the fire flower for the fight at the end. Good job from Fitz. And I didn't quite see... it looks like Storster lost power up before the damage boost. I didn't quite see where that happened. But as a result, this fight is going to be a little slower with the jumps. And also, we're going to be going into Chocolate Island 1, which I find to be a very difficult stage, small only. So hopefully that goes well for Storster. Not having the luxury of getting hit. Okay, looks like Storster is picking up a mushroom in this stage. Good choice. Good Chocolate Island 1 from both runners. Storster getting the very fast door in room 1. Or, sorry, Fitz. Getting it. I think Fitz just did a scroll there before jumping on the boo line. I believe he was trying to save his power up, but he didn't quite get the right timing. It looks like Storster is just going to damage boost. This room where you bounce off of all of the Koopas I've found to be a bit wonky. A lot of weird jumps you have to make. Ooh. Sorcerer getting hit in room 1 of Chocolate Island 2. Not where I'd expect. Room 2 and room 3 are quite dangerous, I'd say, though. And both of them are without power-ups. So death could happen at any time. Yeah, this room that Sorcerer's in is pretty dangerous without a power-up. It's getting P-Speed in the last room of Chocolate's Secret. Nice room 3 from Fitz. Let's see how Sorcerer does. Also going for the P-Speed strat. Fitz is starting in Wendy's Castle. That was intentional damage on Fitz's side. That allows him to get under those crushers safely. And whoa, that was... I don't think I've ever seen that before. He just jumped underneath that saw? I didn't know you could do that. And... oh. Yeah, it looked like Fitz didn't quite have P-Speed and tried to do some kind of backup I'm not familiar with and actually died. Still ahead because of the midpoint, fortunately. Wendy fight shouldn't be a problem for Fitz. And it looks like Sorcerer is also doing a P-Speed strat in room 2 of Wendy's. And actually getting through pretty nicely. Lost P-Speed at the end a little bit, but makes very little difference. So, we are still within one stage going into World 7, and we've seen how, especially when you're small, just a death can set you back by up to one stage. So, we're still fairly close here. Lost Core in chat is daring Fitz to swim through the boo ring. I'm not sure how much the delay is, if that part that might have actually already happened. Yeah, and I think Fitz actually delayed a little bit there. I think he's going for a despawn, so that we only get one boo ring instead of two. We'll see here if it worked. And there's no boo ring there, so Fitz got the despawn. And it's just gonna damage boost through that second boo ring. I did not see if Sorcerer did the setup for it. Oh, Sorcerer is scrolling to get the despawn. Also works. orb. And orb on Sorcerer's side. Seeing small-only strats in Valley of Bowser 1. Sorcerer taking a little bit longer to get P-speed. That's usually how I do it. I'm actually not familiar with the setup that Fitz used to get P-speed really early. And Valley of Bowser 2 here that Fitz is going into is if you have a strat and you go through fast, like Fitz just did, it's not much of a problem, but there's a bunch of off-screen bats, and it's easy for... If something happens and you have to improvise, it's easy to get hit by one of the off-screen bats. Oh, that's true. No sandbar from Fitz. That's another part of this that I'm not as familiar with. None from Sorcerer either, I think. Sandbar is a thing that you can only do if you're big, and I like to play this game small. And that jump that Fitz just did is actually random. Your running speed can be either 47, 48, or 49 sub-pixels per frame. And if it's 47, you don't get the jump. And Fitz is in Valley Fortress, which also is... can be a stage where things go wrong. Looks like Fitz got hit and lost P-speed, which is one of the better outcomes, I feel, if things are going to go wrong in this stage. Let's see how it goes for Sorcerer. Let's not forget about the Reznor fight. Things can always go wrong there. It's like Sorcerer is intentionally taking the latter part of the fort slow. Can't blame him for that. Or I guess I don't know if it was... maybe he saw something that he didn't like and decided to take it safe. You know how it is sometimes, that things just don't feel right, and you don't want to go ahead then, because something might be subtly wrong. Not much chance for things to change now with the Bowser fight. I expect that both of these players are extremely familiar with this fight, it being in pretty much every category. Well, even the cape categories if you lose cape. Fitz is setting up for a trick here where if you hit Bowser right as he's doing this animation to flip over and drop a ball, he won't drop the ball. And if Fitz got it, we'll see Bowser throw out Mecha Koopas. It also leaves one Mecha Koopa going into Phase 3 to get an early hit. We're actually going to see Fitz throw the Mecha Koopa through Bowser. His hitbox isn't active. And for some reason when you do that, Bowser bounces fewer times before stopping and throwing out the Mecha Koopas. And Fitz is now done. I believe Sorster will shortly follow. GG Fitz. And spoilers in chat, we've just been told that Sorster got a 1 second PB. Congratulations. And 1 second, I am going to mark both of them as done so that they get their invites. And we'll see if either of them want to join for a little chat. See, they're both hanging out in the setup room. Let's...
Hello.
Hey guys.
Hey, Rob. Thanks very much for stepping in on the comms at the last minute. Appreciate it.
Oh, you're welcome.
Whew, that was a race, though.
Sorry?
That was a race.
Yeah, you're pretty close pretty much the whole time.
Yeah, not much more than a level in it at any point. Yeah, we've just been chatting in the setup room before we came on, and amazing to pull out a PB in the tourney. We've seen, I think, a few already. I think Super Ben got a big PB, and that's all you can. You do your best.
Yeah, you really can't complain when you...
Yeah.
when you PB and lose.
Yeah, I told myself I was just gonna, try my best. I know Fitz is a really good runner, and I'm like, I'm just gonna throw, everything into it and just see what happens. And I guess this is what happens, so I'm happy with that. Oh. I wasn't really watching the race that much, but I saw that we were really close at some points, which was actually really cool. I think, when we both messed up clips and we were, pretty neck and neck to each other at that point. Pretty close.
Yeah, it was like 20-something seconds difference, and then after that it was 10 seconds.
Yeah, I saw people in chat reacting to clips, and I'm like, oh god, what happened?
Oh, clips for me. Clips have been fine, and then just before my first race, I practiced a few clips, and I just kept missing it, and I was like, oh god. And then in my first race, they went terrible. And then in this race, the first 3 times I clipped in and just got kicked out, and then it all went to hell. But what can you do?
Yeah, you can only do so much.
I think overall, I messed up a heck of a lot. And I think with a bit less experience, I would have just thrown the whole thing, gone for absolutely every frame. But I kind of just pulled back a bit, took it a bit steady. and just got like a solid time, which obviously I needed a.
Yeah, I mean, I really can't complain about mine. If anything, this will just be a nice PB to run against, because I think I got third try clip, and I had a really stupid def in, I think, CI2 in room 1. I just kind of tilted there. But besides that, I really can't complain. I was really happy when I got TP3 first try, because I think last time I died like 3 times last race, so this was definitely an improvement.
Oh yeah, you saved a fair bit on me on TP3, that's for sure.
Yeah, I was just happy to get through it. Oh. Then I think Morton, I lost my flower, but luckily I just kept myself together and I just kept going. I should have died in Morton, honestly. I almost got caught in between the moving, you know, at the like the very top, the moving platforms at the end.
I glanced up at the screen and saw that, and then I was focusing on my own game. But yeah, I thought you might have died there.
Yeah, I thought I was going to.
I mean, that's one of the worst deaths to take in the game, at the top of Morton.
Especially
Big
early
time.
on. Yeah.
Anyway, congrats again. Good luck in your final group stage. And
Yeah,
thanks a lot.
man.
I will see you for the next one.
Yeah, thanks for helping, man.
Yeah,
Bye.
welcome. I'm glad to help out with the community in any way I can. Since I'm not streaming the game anymore. I guess our runners have hopped out, but final reminder to follow the runners if you enjoyed what you saw today. And have a good Saturday, everyone.